Is a lack of contrast making your car look boring? Recently, some of you submitted your vehicles to be reviewed by me, and most of them had a similar problem. Everything was blending together. No pop, no depth. And that's the fastest way to make even a nice car look dull. So today I'm going to roast a few of your cars and show you exactly how to create contrast with the same tricks that I use to make vehicles like this M3 here stand out in a big way. Let's dive in, shall we? I don't want to show you too much of the E36 here because it's getting its own video soon, so stay tuned. Up first, we have Killian with a 2011 Tacoma that has about 64,000 miles on the clock. And it's stock except for taillights and some seat covers, but there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about that. Killian says the biggest struggle that he's having with his truck's appearance right now is with the headlights. He's heard bad reviews about companies like Morimoto and Alpha Rex, so he's a little bit stuck. I agree with the idea of putting new black housing headlights on this truck, but rather than doing those modern style LED daytime running lights, I would probably go with an OEM style light with black housings. I think Nightlight makes a set if you want aftermarket ones like on Amazon or something, and I've been using their chrome ones on my truck for I think over a year now, and they've been holding up great with no leaks or anything. The quality is actually pretty good. And when your vehicle is mostly stock like this, I feel like it's best to stick with more of an OEM plus style of modification to suit the overall style of the truck. It's really hard for a vehicle with a completely stock stance to be able to pull off modern lighting. And on the other hand, a truck with suspension and wheels can easily look great with the factory lighting, if that makes any sense. Black headlights are a tasteful way to create some contrast here for sure, but I've noticed another thing that would make a big difference even on a stock truck like this. Clean and dress the wheel wells, the tires, and the mud flaps. You can see here when you zoom in that it's looking a little dull and faded and just overall a little dirty. Actually, these wheels could use a deep cleaning inside the spokes here as well. Now, I understand that a lot of people hate shiny tire dressings, and I'm right there with you. But not all products are the same, and there's plenty of options out there that will make your tires nice and dark black as opposed to faded and gray. So I think some OEM style black housing headlights and a little bit of detailing work, and this stock truck will look beautiful. Next up, we have Andrew with a white 7th generation Celica or Celica. Before you Americans freak out on me for pronouncing it wrong, just take a breath, will you? It's gonna be okay. This thing apparently has about 180,000 miles on it, and he claims that it just has an exhaust and some suspension, but it looks to me like it also has a set of Enkei RPF1 wheels and I believe a TRD body kit, although the front bumper looks like an OEM one with maybe a lip on it. It's a pretty clean look though. Now he says that his main focus is that he wants this car to stand out a little bit more. Well, adding some contrast will definitely do that. So how can we add some contrast to Andrew's car here? Well, for starters, we gotta do something about this window tint. This is like a chrome mirror tint kind of thing, which isn't the best choice on any color of vehicle, but especially on a white one. This is doing the opposite of creating contrast. It blends in with the paint too much. Now, picture this car with nice dark tinted windows. It would look great, right? And once again, getting the tires nice and clean and black would definitely make a difference, but to take it up a notch, you might want to consider polishing the paint. I think that might make a bit of a difference. And it doesn't have to be a full-on paint correction or anything, even just like an all-in-one polish can really bring the gloss out of this. Since it's white, you don't really have to worry about swirl marks and scratches being noticeable, but the problem that white vehicles do have is that when they get dull and faded, they start to kind of look like a work truck. Just, there's no kind of pizzazz to them. Shining it up a bit can really make a white colored vehicle pop, so it might be something to consider. He also mentioned that this car is really fun to drive, and I can vouch for him on that. My buddy has one of these cars, and I have to say that this is probably one of the most underrated front-wheel drive platforms out there. They're just really good cars, and I don't think they ever got the respect that they deserve. Up next, we have Jordan with a V8 4Runner, and he made sure to include that it's a V8 4Runner, and I get it because I've got one too, and it's something to be proud of. You're never gonna see a V8 in a 4Runner ever again, folks. This old girl's got 220,000 miles on the clock, so she's just getting broken in. Never heard that joke before. So, in terms of modifications, we have a 3-inch lift with SPC upper control arms and also a 1-inch body lift on top of that. And we also have a set of wheels from a newer 4Runner that are painted black and some 315s on here. These are some big boy tires. And it's also got a fresh paint job in this sort of like a cement gray color. Looks pretty good. So let's take a look at the contrast on this thing. And right off the bat, I'm seeing some dull gray paint, and it's supposed to look like that. But also we've got dull gray tires. What is this thing, made out of modeling clay? Now the big tires play a pretty big role in the appearance of this 4Runner, so making sure that they're clean and dark black is a really good idea. And once again, you don't have to use a really greasy product that makes them look artificially shiny, you just need something that will make them look new again. Jordan has added some black housing headlights on here, which look really nice and add some good contrast to the front end. A great way to tie that in would be to tint these front windows to match the rear sides. This makes a big difference in creating a nice consistent look across the whole side of the vehicle. Plus, people can't see you picking your nose as easily, so we'll call that a win-win. One other thing that I might consider here that has nothing to do with adding contrast is adding the OEM style rear spoiler on here. It would really suit the aggressive look that this thing has going for it, and the side benefit is that apparently the aerodynamics of that spoiler actually help to keep the rear window clear of snow and dirt. Alright, so if you enjoyed this, then let me know what you'd like to see on the next roast video. If you'd like to apply to have your vehicle featured in the next roast video, make sure you sign up at the link below and you'll be notified of when applications open up again. And watch this video next to find out the best way to make your car stand out without doing any kind of detailing type stuff. Alright.